All right, folks, we're back here at the IWM Broadcast Network. We've had the weather's playing havoc, I think, with a bunch of us here. So we're
Yes, it is. We are back live. We are back live for sure. Sorry about that, everybody. But we have rejoined, and we are now nearing the end of stage 2, Rick. And guess who's out front? You could probably say his name for us because I've said it probably about 20 times already.
Kyle Milliken is back. Well, is back. Has stayed on top of the NASCAR tower, and he has not left that position the whole time.
No, he's been there the entire time, and he's now putting up a 3-second lead, 3.5-second lead on Bullard. I mean, he is the car to beat. It's going to take a lot to get that number 10 car out of that number 1 position there. But what a run by Kyle. What a run by that entire team to put his car in position to just pull away from the field. I mean, we saw a little bit of fight out of Ryan Chapman, a little bit of fight out of Bullard there, but nobody was able to pass him.
Pretty amazing that he's continued to, well, you know, his consistency. He has followed that line the whole time. He has found what works best for him in his setup, and he's replicating it lap after lap after lap.
He is, and looking now, we are about to be at the stage end, and there it is, Kyle Milliken, winner of stage 2 here tonight in the Thunder Alley 200 in the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series. That is a mouthful. Say that 3 times fast. But we are now about to enter the longest segment of the race. So with pit stops, we are probably going to get about 103 to 102 laps to go, I would imagine, Rick, and it's going to be a mad dash. Well, a 100-lap dash to the finish here between these top now 8 drivers, because now we have only 8 cars on the lead lap. Josh Aaron did go a lap down there, but it looks like he will be getting the lucky dog. So we will actually be coming back with 9 cars on the lead lap. No cautions right now. What a clean race out of everybody. The only cautions we have had are stage breaks.
Pretty amazing. And on top of that, so now with this long stage coming up towards the end of the race, we have an opportunity to see some green flag pit stops. These teams got 6 sets of tires,
and we already know they've used one of them so far, so this is their 2nd set. So plenty of tires here for these guys as you see the number 10 car make his way down pit road as the rest of the field is coming down.
We saw the number 00 go past the pace car and get his lap back. So the 17 car Blink, he may be having some technical difficulties. We share and understand that here in race control.
Yeah, we definitely know what that's like. It's just a product of modern technology as Kyle wins the race off of pit road. You know, he's the car to beat right now. If I had to make my pick, I would just put everything I had and then some on Kyle. He has not made one mistake this race. He has kept his car clean. He's good on the long runs. He keeps his car underneath him. He knows how to conserve tires. He is knocking off every one of my keys to this race. So we'll see if he can keep it up here in stage 3.
Well, we're seeing the second group, the guys that are a lap down, start to come onto pit road. That's Ty Bostic on pit road.
Yes, it is. Good old Ty Bostic in that patriotic DuPont scheme. I like that one a lot. Reminds me of a Gordon paint scheme. So good to see him on pit road. Get some TV time for some patriotic schemes. There goes Elliott Swope. And there goes
Kenneth Bradstock.
Yep, Kenneth Bradstock there.
Ty sticking around for probably get a little bit of damage repaired. We can go down and take a look. I need to double check that Luke Bullard may have spun Let's try to pick up Luke.
You think Luke spun under caution?
I do. We'll go back and. I don't know. Said he had crashed. Well,
I do not know, Rick.
not sure. Not sure.
Not sure. But the field is stacked up here in turn 1 and 2. My bad. Turn 3 and 4. Got lost on the track. We are about to... no, that was 1 and 2. What in the world? I'm definitely lost. Yeah, I didn't know where we were.
3 and 4, I think, right now.
There we go. Yes, we are in 3 and 4. We are on the straight part of the track going into 3. As Kyle is leading it around with Bullard in second, Chapman in third, Sikosi in fourth, and good old Bill Hull there rounding out the top 5 as we're about to start stage 3 of the Thunder Alley 200. And pace car is down on pit road, and Kyle is taking off again. We are green flag racing here at the Rock. And same thing as we've seen all race, Rick. Kyle is just saying, see ya, I'm going.
Kyle has jumped out to another lead here as we start for the final segment of today's race.
If I was that number 7 machine, I would try to get as close as I can to that number 10 and have him make a mistake, because I don't see this 10 car leaving this P1 at all. So the time would be now. We saw it. It may take a couple laps for these cars to come in, but if I was that number even second, third place of Luke Bullard, fourth place, make your moves now, because at the long run, Kyle's going to be out there. He's going to be out front. So do it now while you can.
My guess is that most of these drivers have not been on this track before. You don't see that this track is in the regular rotation for the Cup or the Xfinity. So this has really been probably a learning experience for a lot of these guys. I'll have to go back and look, John. I think we may have seen Elliott swoop off track a second ago. Let's just kind of.
Well, let's go back, take a look, see what happened here. Did he get a little loose off the corner? Yeah, he became a lawnmower, as I like to say. He was cutting that grass, but kept it straight, kept it clean, and definitely kept his tires green for sure. So he made his way down, but he is now back on the track, safe and sound. So good driving out of the number 21 camp there, as we are now riding back along with our leader, Mr. Milliken, with Chapman chasing him. If Chapman's going to do it, I think you have to do it now. Do it early in the run. Make Kyle make a mistake, because he is locked in. That number 10 car is not moving. He is the most consistent driver. He's been running the exact same line every single lap. Very consistent line as we are now approaching. And maybe that number 7 car hurt me a little bit, because I'm telling you, that 10 car is the car to beat, and I would make that move now.
Yeah, I'm not sure he can.
He's right there, though.
He's
right there. He's going to have to do something here going into turn 1, see if he can maybe drive off a little bit higher, get that run up to turn 2. And you have the run there. Don't know if it's going to get to his bumper. But this is the same thing we saw last day. Oh, here he goes. He's going to make the move. Will he get to his inside? No, Kyle just kind of keeps it up there. They are neck and neck. This is the closest racing we have seen out of these top 2 this entire race. See the 7 back off corner entry. He's going to probably get a big run coming off of turn 2. Doesn't really get that big of a run as I thought he was going to get.
Yeah, we're up here watching the leaders battle here for first and second, but there's been a lot of other moves happening. Mark Sarkozy has now moved up to 4th. Justin Diltz, who was pretty far back, has now moved up to 5th. He far back as part of the 9 that were on the lead lap. He was the last car ahead of Josh Aaron, who was the last car in the lead lap. He's all the way now up to 5th, so a lot of moves happening. Mark Sarkozy will jump back as battling Luke Ballard.
Yes, he is. And that number 10 machine, I'm watching along, Rick, on another screen. He got a little low and got a little loose in 3 and 4, which closed up the gap between him and Ryan Chapman there. And Chapman's on his bumper, Rick. Let's go back up to the lead. He is right there. He is saying, I want to lead this race. I want to get this thing done. And it's just, oh, it's close. Oh, Ryan has a run. He's going to take to the bottom side, Rick. Here we go. The first time that we've seen a battle for the lead. And Ryan doesn't really do much with it, Rick.
No.
I thought he had the position on him.
I thought he did too, but he didn't seem to have or didn't choose to take the opportunity coming out of that turn.
I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity there for that number 7 machine, because at this point on, you know, Kyle is just so good on the long run. We've been green here for about 7 to 10 laps, so we are seeing these tires definitely come into factor now, as that 7 car is still right there within striking distance of that number 10 machine. I wanted to make a move. I feel like he has to do it now, as we see first, second, third, and fourth really within a second of each other. We haven't seen a battle like this all race long between the top 4, so we'll see what happens here. But Kyle is getting a little bit of heat, something that he hasn't faced. Here comes the 7. 7's going to make the move now. He is under him.
It's close, but still not enough.
And not enough.
Three and 4 is tight battle as well between Luke Bullard and Mark Sarkozy. That is a tight race. I think it is a bit disconcerting because Luke does keep blinking a bit.
Yes, it is. I mean, you always got to think about those blinkers. Oh, the 10 slipped up quite a bit. The 7's going to have a run. Big run out of the 7 machine. This is what I was talking about. Make that 10 make a mistake. And the 7 didn't capitalize. I don't want to criticize the driver, but man, to take that position, you know, crowd him up a little bit. He's been running the same line all race, and if the driver in front makes a mistake, you got to capitalize on that, Rick.
Absolutely.
You got to be able to take control. And he had a huge run going into turn 1. I would have kept it in there and held on to it now. And this is the point of the race where we see this 10 car start to pull away. So that may have been the last chance for that number 7 machine to actually pass that number 10 machine, unless Ryan rather, has been holding back a little bit. But as you said it, Rick, going back to that number 3rd position of Luke Bullard there, he is blinking. And, you know, if you're not a fan or familiar with of iRacing, when you blink, that means there's a little bit of a lag within your connection and the server. So what happens is your car kind of blinks like a Christmas tree would, and you pop pop out of the track, pop into the track. So what it looks like on Luke Bullard's perspective is every car on the track is gone for a split second, and then every other driver around him, it's the complete opposite. They don't see him. So it's very nerve-wracking, especially if you're Mark Sarkozy in that 3rd or 4th position, rather, to try to get around a blinking driver. You don't know where he's going to be, because sometimes it may just end up right on top of your car, as we see Mark trying to make a move down low on that number 17 machine right now. And looks like he may complete that pass coming out of 4. Going to be a dead heat, but I like that move out of the number 2 machine. And there you go. There's that blinking. You don't know where he's going to be. And wow, he's been gone for a complete corner, Rick.
I know.
I know. And there he is, showed up right behind him. So that is the unknowingness of what may happen. So he was beside him when he blinked out and came back, and he was a few tenths of a second behind. So riding back along now with Mark, he's in the clear in that 3rd position. And right now, as we are looking at it, really the closest battle on the track is between 1st and 2nd with Ryan Chapman and Kyle Milliken. Ryan's just hanging right in there. Same kind of thing he did last run, but as we saw at the end of last run stage, Kyle Milliken was able to drop up or increase his lead up to 3.5 seconds. So I expect to see the same out of him. But I think Ryan has something that he may have been holding off a little bit, because that car has kind of come to life here in Stage 3.
Absolutely, yeah, that gap has certainly increased Now it's showing a half a second now over Chapman. And it's become the Kyle Milliken show again.
Yes, it has, and it's slowly gaining up to 0.7, 0.6, 0.7 seconds. And you're kind of seeing a little bit of an opposite line out of these two drivers. So Kyle Milliken is dropping in the middle line, and he's actually dropping down to the bottom of the track. As you can see right there, just kind of getting a big run off the corner. Kind of what Ryan was doing earlier on in the run. So maybe Kyle learned a little bit from that number 7 machine. Stay a little bit higher, try to drop down and get a good run off the corner. As you can see right there, he dropped down and then diamond back up. So right now it is still the Kyle Milliken show, but let's go back to 3rd and 4th, Rick. We do have a battle there between Mark and Luke. Looks like Luke's connection has settled down, which is great to see. He's on the track and caught back up to that number 2 machine. And this is the closest battle of the race. I'm looking throughout the entire leaderboard right now. Those are the 2 closest machines. So let's stay on here because this is the battle for the podium.
We have 80 laps to go here at Rockingham, and
17's loose. And he's gone.
Yeah.
And he's back. And he's gone. And he's back. And that's what I mean, guys, by a Christmas tree. But like you were saying, Rick, yes, to go, a little under 80 to go here tonight at Rockingham, as we are seeing some lap cars being into a factor now.
Well, Kyle Milliken continues to hold the lead here at Rockingham over right now Ryan Chapman in 2nd. Mark Sarkozy is holding on to 3rd, but he's in a tight battle with Luke Bullard. Past that, it looks to be settled down pretty much single car racing with 8 cars left on the lead lap.
With 8 cars on the lead lap, with Evan Amick being that last car, and him and I believe it's Alan Kroll there in the number 9. They're having a pretty close battle as well. They're within a few tenths of each other. As you see the high line really taking form out of those 2nd and 3rd and 4th place drivers there. They are way up against the wall in turn 1 and turn 2, and looking up in turn 3 right there. Look at how high Mark is getting in the corners. Definitely taking full advantage of every ounce of remaining track that this track has. See him drifting, just running up there and kind of diamonding back down to the bottom and getting a run off the corner. Much bigger version of Darlington, obviously, with the track width. But you can see,
still an egg-shaped track. Well, D-shaped, but still turns 1 and 2 are definitely significantly different than 3 and 4 here at Rockingham. So I think what we are seeing, though, is some significant wear beginning to form on these tires. We are now at 33 laps, and we saw that they were ridiculously loose after 45 laps. So they're about 2/3 through the life of these tires, and we're probably going to expect to see some green flag pit stops after shortly. So.
I would imagine so, Rick, and let me tell you why. Right now, the qualifying time for Kyle Milliken was a 24.6. He just ran a 26 flat. That is about a 1.5 seconds of fall off on these tires. So these tires are tired. The wear is very significant on this track. He just ran a 26 flat again. Seeing these drivers, Ryan Chapman just ran a 26.2. So these drivers have to come down pit road to get these tires because, I don't know if they're going to last that long. I mean, with tire wear, with a 1.5 seconds fall off already, geez, I mean, you're looking at some pretty old tires, especially if people try to stretch this out as long as they can, which obviously they can't. But it's definitely going to be a wild race on pit road, especially on entry. And that was one of my keys of the race, and this is what I'm going to pay attention to with this number 10 car whenever he decides to come down, is how clean he can come off of pit road, or come into pit road and come off of pit road, because that will be a major story. You don't want to speed. You don't want to go above the racing surface and get an unsafe pit entry or exit. Want to make sure you keep your car underneath you. So, yeah, Rick, it's going to be a wild one with everybody coming down more than likely under green flag conditions.
Well, I'm expecting to see some pit stops probably around lap 140.
Yeah, I would think somewhere around lap 140,
145.
150. Yeah, 145, 150. It's definitely going to be coming soon as we have a pass for second place. Mark Sikosi is on the move, and he is right there passing the number 7 machine of Ryan Chapman. So we have a new P2. It's the number 2 of Mark Sikosi.
I think that was smart on Mark's part. My guess is that all that time running the high line saved a lot of life in those tires. And with second place of Ryan Chapman taking those, down at the yellow line, pretty much at the edge of those corners, that will wear your tires out.
Yes, it will. And right now, looking at some lap times, I'm going to compare first and second place right here when they come to the line this next time, see what these lap times are, because I think, Rick, we have a little bit of a closer race than we actually think we do. Kyle Milliken coming to the line just ran a 26.3, and Mark Sikosi came to the line running a 26.3 as well. Mark Sikosi actually just ran a 500th of a second lap faster than Kyle, which we have not seen all race long. So has Mark been waiting around for this third stage to come around and get closer to that number P1, or that number 10 machine rather, of Kyle Milliken? It's going to be close. I didn't expect to see that happen, but looking at the last 2 laps again, Kyle ran a 36, or my bad, a 20. If he was running a 36, he wouldn't be in the lead. He ran a 26.3. Mark Sikosi in second ran a 26.2, a full 10th faster than Kyle there. So we're seeing him gain a little bit now, down to 2.8 seconds.
Definitely tightening up a bit here, ahead of what would be anticipated some green flag pit stops in about 18 laps.
Yes, we are, and that is going to be a lapped car going around the number 2 right there. That is the number, what is that,
78? Yep.
78 machine.
Thomas Thompson. That definitely impacted Mark on that last run. He wound up with 26.49 versus Milliken's 37. We'll see what this next lap shows. Yeah, that's what happens when you get in traffic and you're working your way through lap traffic.
Yeah, it does, and we've seen it tonight. It's not going to be the end of it. That's a loose car, loose out of 2. The number 17 machine of Luke Ballard there definitely got a little squirrely as well. So we have some very loose conditions with all these drivers right now.
So our gap between our leader, Kyle Milliken, and Mark Sikosi is now just around 3.5 seconds.
They're running almost identical lap times, Rick. So they're both running in the 26.2 to 26.4 range, depending on if there's lap traffic, depending on if anybody's around them. So I would expect to see some green flag pit stops here. Don't know when you're going to see them, but I believe they're going to be coming very soon.
This is lap 135 of a scheduled 197 laps here at Rockingham. Again, you're with the NSRL Grand National Series. That's the National Sim Racing League Grand National Series, sponsored by Speed Demon. We're watching it on the IWM Broadcast Network. Hope you will click on that little icon in the corner and like and subscribe, and stay tuned for future races with the NSRL Grand National Series and other leagues that we broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in and staying tuned throughout this race.
Absolutely, and the NSRL League, especially the Grand National Series, they're going all over the place within their series. They're going to Atlanta next week, Five Flags, Auto Club, the Twin Ring. You got North Wilkesboro and Wells Pocono, and then going a little bit further down into August, you have the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Irwindale, Worldwide Tech. You got Lucas Oil, you got Mid-Ohio Sports, you got so many.
Well, we got a caution flag that's come out, our third caution, which probably will make it interesting on pit road. Evan Amick crash. Let's go back and See
Take a
what
look
we
at what
saw.
happened with Evan here. Yeah, he's driving a number 77 machine. Got slid up into the wall. Oh, hard hit into the bottom, and yep, that's going to cause a caution all day, every day. Right in the Thunder Alley sign. He is on the track. Fortunate for that 77 machine there, but you know what, Rick, this is going to do? This is going to bring the entire field down pit road, and this is going to give Mark and Ryan and Luke a chance to take the lead away from Kyle. We've seen him lead every single lap this race, and with only 8 cars on the lead lap, this is probably your best chance to pass this number 10 car.
Well, that was fortunate for Evan Amick. He was the last car on the lead lap, and I think he was may have. You never want to say that a crash was a good thing, but it kept him from going a lap down and maybe get in for a little bit of repairs.
Everybody's coming down pit road, and it's a very tight pit road now with Mark Sikosi right behind that 10 machine. We'll see who can have the better pit stop as everybody is bunched up again. We know that 2 car is fast. Same thing with the 7. We'll see if their pit crews can be as fast as they are on the track, as everybody's going to make their way down into their pit boxes. Going to be 4 tires and full of fuel. No reason not to, as we have both of them stop about the same time. Right sides go on.
Oh, the Bostic, I think he missed his pit.
Yeah, Bostic definitely missed his pit stall. Still misses pit stall.
Jeez.
And that's going to clog up the 2. Oh no, the 2 got stuck behind that 22 machine, and he is not even off the pit road yet. He just left. So that 2 car lost major positions on pit road there. He is going to be back in 5th, I believe.
Let's just jump back real quick and see what happened to Mark. Yeah, a lot of drama.
I believe he was just trying to get, you see there, his left sides go on. I believe he was trying to get away from that. See, the 22 backs up and just blocks him in, essentially. He had nowhere to go and drives off, and he had to wait until that 22 was actually under service. So, terrible break for that number 2 machine, now dropping all the way back to 5th. That is not where you want to be, especially the restart.
Yeah, that cost him. Mark's pit time was a 21:07 versus Kyle Milliken of a 14:92, and Luke Bullard with a 14:23 on that pit stop. So definitely impacted Mark's position. Track position is everything. We've seen that here all night with this race, and cycling back and losing 2 positions plus coming out of pit road is not a good thing.
No, it's not, and it's definitely going to play a factor here, as we should get the field stacked back up, re-racked, whatever you want to say here, with about, 57 to go. No, my bad, 45 to go. No, 55 to go. Yeah, my mapper's off tonight. 55 to go. We should have a full fuel run, Rick. We've seen these cars go 45 twice. So these guys should be good to the end. I think it's going to be really close, but that should be the last pit stop they need as the field cycles their way out of turn 2. With 56 to go here tonight.
Lights are off on the pace car.
Lights are off, and we have Luke Bullard up there in P2 with Ryan Chapman in 3rd on the bottom row, Justin Dilton the top line, and Mark Sikosi there in the number 2 machine rounding out the top 5. We'll see what Kyle can do, see if the 17 can battle him off, but that number 10 machine has been able to get good jumps on the restart. He gets another great jump now, clearing the field. Green flag is out again, and look who's out front. Good old Kyle. Kyle Milliken has taken the lead again, but look who took the 2nd place. You have Ryan Chapman there in that 7 machine. That 7 machine shows very good short run speed and mid run speed. It's just the long run speed that maybe is not into his seating, but maybe some adjustments here on this last pit stop has made him great for this basically medium run here that we're getting here at Rockingham, as we see the number 10 drop down into the turn 1 coming off turn 2. Go up his way up the Thunder Alley backstretch and go down into turn 3. That number 7 machine is chomping. Oh, he's loose. 10 is loose. There's a mistake that I was talking about.
He hung
stack
on.
up the field. And here comes the 7. The 7 has to stay in the gas, Rick. You cannot let off here. If you're
He backed off, I think.
I think you take that position away. I think you have to make a run for it. Because
It's
you
so
saw
hard
Kyle,
to pass.
Yeah, it's just so hard to pass, especially with how good Kyle's been on the long run. I think Ryan could have easily taken the bottom line there, but now he's just content back in second. With the car loose off of turn 4, but he gathered it there about 6 cars back. I believe that was Bill Hull. He's been able to recover. But, you know, Rick, that 7 machine had a great run, and he just didn't take it, and I think he had a missed opportunity there to be able to take over the top spot and take this lead away from Kyle Milliken, which nobody's been able to do all race.
Do you think he's just brother-in-law it along?
I don't know. I mean, even if he's a teammate, if he's not a teammate, with as good of an opportunity as that was, I think he just take it no matter what. So who knows? Maybe he is, but as we can see now, this is we've seen it every single run here. That number 7 machine has been able to get great mid-corner to exit speed off of 1 and 4, where the 10 car hasn't been able to get that good of a run compared to that number 7 machine. So we'll see if the 7 can capitalize. I think he has to jump on it. I really do. Maybe he can get a run off here and coming off of turn 2. Not that close. Not as close as I thought he was going to be. Two very distinct lines running. Still hanging in there, though. He's still within the picture, about 2/10 back of that number 10 machine. And he's going to jump up to the top side. Kyle Milliken down to the bottom side. We've seen him run there all race. And see what kind of run that number 7 can get. He got a somewhat of a decent run. Not crazy, but enough to bring him back up to the bumper of the 10.
That was close.
Yeah, that was. That entry was great. And low 10 slid up the track. You have to take this opportunity. 7, stay in the gas. Stay in the gas. Stay in the gas. This is the opportunity that he needs. And we have he wrecked him! He wrecked him! Leaders have wrecked.
Oh my gosh. 4th caution of the night.
And they're still wrecking. They're still wrecking back there.
Frustration.
The number 7 machine has taken out our leader tonight. The number 10 of Kyle Milliken.
Oh, it is damaged.
Well, Rick, he took it. He took that spot. But let's go back and take a look at that replay, because that is unfortunate for both of those drivers. See here, the 7 had the position on him, slid up the track, and just drove it way too hard into the corner and just completely ran that 10 up into the wall. 17 had nowhere to go, slid to the back of the 10. Just a product of this track. Unfortunate for those. Those are the top 3 drivers. This is, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the All-Star race, where you had the top 3 or top 2 arguably cars wreck. You had Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain, and you had a kind of a standbyer with Luke Bullard there, just kind of getting into it. You have Kyle Milliken being Kyle Busch. You had Ross Chastain didn't wreck Kyle Busch, but kind of the same thing here.
So you saw that the 7 was way off. He was out of the throttle early on that corner entry, getting under the 10. The 10, he just drifts all the way up. 10 was holding his line and
just locks him. Just locks it in. Nowhere to go.
Nowhere
There's
to
nothing
go.
to do there. The momentum's going to carry them both into the wall. And you can see the 17 here. He is hard on the brakes, trying not to slide into the 10 car. But he's going to have some front-end nose damage after that. And there's the 2 of Mark Sikosi sliding by. There's 19 of Justin Diltz getting by on the bottom side. And that's going to be your race between those 2 drivers. Unless Kyle doesn't have that much front-end damage, I don't know. That's just a lot of damage for that machine. He didn't hit the front of his car. He kind of hit the left front into the wall, so maybe his engine isn't too damaged. But that Kyle Milliken machine is now sitting back in the 7th spot.
We can take a look at this from the Luke Ballard vehicle. Let's just take a look and see what we saw. No place to go.
No, he was just a product of you know,
A victim
sliding
of circumstance.
in and, yeah, just a victim of circumstance there. Nothing you can do when you're just sliding up the track. And it looks like Kyle Milliken is on pit road trying to get some damage fixed. As we ride around with Mark Sikosi there, he had a front row seat to all this, just trying to get by. And he was one of those guys that I was talking about, Rick, that had good long run speed. So as you can see, there's the two leaders getting into each other in the middle of turn one there. And Mark's like, you know what, I'm going to just slow down a little bit. Let me hit the brakes, go low, make sure don't get hit. And he was able to get through all nice and clean. And he will be your leader coming to, I believe it's going to be 40 to go, Rick, here tonight in the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series in the Thunder Valley 200. Wow, what a run. What a change of events.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We've got a lot of cars back on the lead lap. That puts Kenneth Bradstock and Elliott Swope back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and as well as, you know, I mean, Ryan Chapman's back there. You got Kyle Milliken back there, too. So we have brand new leaders, brand new cars on the lead lap. Now we have 10 cars on the lead lap that can now fight for this win as Kyle Milliken is back on pit road trying to save his car. But, Rick, we have a new leader. It's the number 2 machine of Mark Sikosi. First time we've seen a new leader all race long, followed by Bill Hull in that 51 machine, Justin Diltz, and the number 19, Alan Crowell, and Evan Amick.
New guys up front, new guys in scoring position with 44 laps to go here at Rockingham.
Things are definitely going to heat up now between these drivers, with them knowing that they have a chance to win this. And really, it's anybody's race at this point. We've seen Sikosi be good, but what a run by Bill Hull, starting in the 10th position up there on the outside row. And we have green flag racing with Mark Sikosi taking the green flag here at lap 155.
A lot of guys are in new positions that they haven't been in all night. They're now up at the front. We'll see how they manage this position, and really it's a whole different race.
Yeah, it is. It's a whole new game. We haven't spent much time talking about really any of these guys, not because we don't want to, just because there's been such a dominating race between the 10, 7, and the 17 machine. We have Mark, obviously, talking about him a while back, but you have Bill, you have Justin Diltz there. You have, you know, some of these guys further on back, Swope all the way up to 9th, ahead of Kyle Milliken. So you have a lot of these guys right now that are under a blanket that we have not talked about. So it's going to be definitely a brand new race for all of these guys, as we see Mark Sikosi taking the lead now with exactly 40 laps to go. They can make it to the end for sure. So it's going to be a mad dash to the finish, and it looks like these guys are all very similar. We know Mark has a good car. We'll see if anybody can capitalize. That 51 slides up the track just a little bit. He's actually into the wall.
Should be an opportunity for the 19 to come around.
Should be able to regather there. Yeah, he has a little bit of front end damage and a little bit of right side damage. And here comes the 19 down on the bottom lane coming out of turn 2. Try to get him a little bit loose there, but as we can see, not much damage. But look who is coming back up to the front. The number 17 machine of Luke Bullard. He was involved in that wreck, and he is back up into the top 5. So what a good sign out of that camp. He is not as damaged as the 10 or the number 7 machine. So good to see him back up there and doing well. Hopefully he can make it around, not too much nose damage, but hopefully it doesn't blow up, because that is a characteristic. If you get nose damage, you will overheat the engine here, especially with these cars, and you're able to add tape to them. So,
well, it's a warm track. So what we have to look now is, it's funny, look back at the last laps of, let's bring that up. The times have changed. So
yes, they have, Rick.
So now we're seeing that leader putting it down at 25 with relatively fresh tires.
Yeah, they're definitely sliding around for sure. Look at the number 9 there, the 17. All these guys are loose, just all over the place. So this is going to play a major factor. And Bill Hull just ran the fastest lap out of anybody that last time around. So that number 51 machine has some speed.
A lot of battles going back here in the mid-pack as we've got guys who have moved up, who are just riding around, biding time, and it's now time. 36 laps to go.
Sure, and look at Bill Hull. He ran another 25.3. That is the same exact lap time that he ran the lap before, so very consistent out of that 51 machine. Look for him to have a solid run here with him and Sikosi up at the top. Let's see what lap times are going to come this next time around. 25.02, 25.16, as I believe that number 2 car got a little bit loose there, Rick.
He sure did. He's definitely pressing. I'm sure he sees in his rearview mirror that Bill is getting closer and he's looking to extend his lead. He knows with 35 laps to go, this is the race.
Yes, it is. I'm coming back around. You can see right there a 25.13 for that Mark Sikosi machine. And in second place, that Bill Hull machine at 25.2. So still, Mark Sikosi is taking charge of this race, growing his lead up to almost a full second right now, slowly gaining on that number 51 machine. That's kind of what we've seen all race, Rick. If you're in the lead, you're going to get that clean air, and you're going to be a little bit faster than all the guys behind you.
Absolutely. So the key here is consistency. We've seen that earlier when we saw Kyle Milliken make his runs. Mark Sikosi needs to adopt that same approach. 33 laps to go. Find my line, find my spot, get my corner entry and exits the same, and maintain it. You've got no one in front of you.
No, he doesn't, and he loves that byline, Rick. He has been up there almost out of the tire marks of anybody here at the Rock, and nobody's really challenged him up there. I mean, look how high he's going to go here in turn 3 and turn 4. I mean, he is really high up on that track where everybody else is kind of midline to low line. So maybe he knows a little bit something that everybody else does, but that lead is actually stabled out at about 9/10 of a second. So we'll see what this Bill Hull machine can do, as the lead is very, very consistent right now. Looks like they are both dialed into their lines. Right now it's just who's the better car, who's the better driver here, as we are now getting 30 to go at the Rock.
So Bill Hull takes definitely a slightly lower line, dips in a little bit tighter through corner entry and exit. Although it looks like he may be following in Mark's tire tracks.
And look at that time. It went up to 1.08 seconds, 1.09 and growing. So I don't know if that was a good move for that number 51 machine. I say, hey, just keep it down low. Keep what you're doing. Because when he does that, he has been very, very consistent with what Mark has been able to do up in the front. But you know what? There's something else that we have to pay attention to, Rick. Lap down traffic. And Mark is going to catch lap down traffic here soon. And you know who he's going to catch, Rick? The 10.
Unfortunately, Kyle Milliken suffering through some of that damage from that instance. Oh, the 51 got a little loose coming out of 4.
Yes, he did, and that made the lead go from a second to 1.5 and counting. So that was definitely a slip up out of the 51 machine, and that's what you can't afford to have here is slip ups at this point of the race. So right now, we are now down to 27 to go, and right now it's a weird sight to see. It's almost like kind of what you see with F1 when Max Verstappen was passing Lewis Hamilton. I mean, obviously I'm making a broad comparison between Lewis Hamilton, Mark Sikosi, and Kyle Milliken and Max Verstappen. But point being, the 10 car has been out front all race long, and seeing him go a lap down just doesn't seem right, Rick. But unfortunate for that team, unfortunate for the 7 machine. But look at Mark Sikosi. He is now taking a nice commanding lead over Bill Hull there, as he is about to go around that number 10 machine, who we've talked about numerous times, just a few times this race.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. Yeah, just a few. But good to see Kyle actually on the track, finishing out this race, probably going to finish there in the 9th or 10th position. He is now just only 1 lap down. So he's been able to keep up a little bit in the corners, but the straight line speed obviously is nowhere close to what these clean cars have, as Mark Sikosi was passing him basically with ease.
It does appear, though, that after that pit stop, lap times have fallen off significantly. Now we're approaching almost 26 seconds with most of these competitors. In fact, you can see it. The last time for Milken, the 10 was a 26.2. Definitely dealing with the damage and the aftermath of that wreck.
Yes, he is. And looking at some of these other cars, you have some of the guys in the back running 26.3s. Mark Sikosi running a 25.7. Cole running a 25.8. Foral just actually passing Justin Diltz for third there rather. Moving up into the top 3. So good to see some action there on the track between those two drivers. But Justin Diltz is back in the 4th position, and this is the battle for that 3rd and 4th spot.
It's a tight battle. There are 5 competitors running nose to tail.
And I believe that 22 machine actually is not on the lead lap. He is 2 laps down, so he's going to cause a little bit of mayhem there. But also, look who's made his way back up to the P7, I believe. No, my bad, P5. That is Ryan Chapman there in that number 7 machine. After getting into the 10 machine, he's made his way back up into the top 5. Good to see Ryan from that unfortunate wreck. And Luke Ballard actually has dropped down to 13th. Am I reading that correct, Rick?
Luke Ballard is, yes, in 13th. He is in the pits getting work done. He probably had some damage. He needs to get repaired. This is a tight battle. Justin Diltz getting past the number 9 of Alan Kroll. And the number 9 was almost into the safer barrier here at Rockingham.
Yes, he was. And the 7 goes by. So that 7 car is making a move back up to the number 4th position there on his sights for Justin Diltz. But right now, this is the hottest battle on the track between anybody else. So I believe Bullard was there within the top 4, top 5 there for a second. And something must have happened to him. Maybe he was overheating, maybe to get some damage fixed. But looks like the number 7 actually was the best car out of that wreck, even though he did slide up into the 10 car. He has become the first car to actually make some headway after that last caution, who caused the caution. So, hate to see it for those camps, but good to see the 7 able to keep going. Same thing with the 10. Unfortunate for the 17. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the 7 is making his way on Justin Diltz. He is about to get to his bumper here, coming off of 4, as Sikosi has increased his lead up to 1.8 seconds.
Yep, the 7's pretty much determined that he does not need a rear bumper.
I mean,
to get around Rockingham.
I guess you don't need a rear bumper, and we saw the 00 there. He didn't need a hood to get around either, so really don't need much sheet metal to get around this track.
It's not an aero track, it's a 1 mile, but certainly it helps. But really it's about airflow. If you can keep your engine cool and get through this, then you'll do okay.
Yep, that was one of my keys of the race. Keep the car under you because of these slick conditions, which in return means keep your car clean. And we've seen that out of a lot of these top 3, top 4 drivers, top 5 drivers outside of the 7 machine there. But the 7 machine, even with his damage and without the rear bumper, is looking on that number 19 machine, passing him for the podium spot there for P3. But don't look now. Kenneth Bradstock has made his way to the back of that 7 car. So we'll see a 3-way battle now as the 7 car, I believe, tapped the wall coming out of 2 for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position.
Well, that's easy to do here at Rockingham. Those outside walls will come up and bite you quick.
Yes, they will.
So we've got a couple folks in the pits. I think Luke Ballard is still there getting some work done, and for an extended period of time. Thomas Thompson has also joined him there as well, getting some work done. As we wind down with 14 laps here left here at Rockingham. Looks like
And the
this is
7.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just about to say 7 is making a move. We've seen him do this before. Hopefully he uses a little bit more. Bro, he does the exact same thing, Rick. That is the exact same thing we saw with the number 10 and number 2. He just kind of slid up. So good awareness out of the number 19, saying, "Hey, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to have what happened to my teammate happen to myself.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep on going. I'm just going to just move out of the way, let you take the spot. You're obviously faster." So good move out of the 19, but that going down low, Rick, into turn 1 it looks a little treacherous.
Yeah, definitely discretion was the better part of valor. I'll take 4th over being wrecked out for 3rd. So.
Yeah, I would too. I would too, and don't look too far back now, but Bill Hull has been making very small gains on Mark Sikosi. It was a 1.8 second lead, and it's now gotten down to about a 1.6 second lead. So we may see a battle here as long as that 51 can start gaining, but it looks like it's actually going the opposite direction as soon as I started talking, Rick. So I'm going to shut up and let this 51 machine do what he does.
Well, with 11 laps to go, there, if you look at the times on the tower, there is a significant gap between the first place car of Sarkozy and the third place car of Chapman. It's nearly 10 seconds, and then it just goes, more from there. So Hull is dropping back slightly. He's nearly at 2 seconds behind Sarkozy, and so Mark is hoping that this race stays green and he doesn't have to deal with a restart. I think everybody else from mid-pack back is hoping for someone, not me, somebody else to you crash. No, you crash. So
right, exactly. Hopefully hopefully we do finish this race under green flag conditions. We do have 8 cars on the lead lap as we are now riding along again with the number 51 and going back to the number 2 machine, who is in the lead, taking a nice commanding lead here with 9 to go. And what a run. What a move to get around the wrecked cars. Basically, he was in the perfect seat to take that lead away from those guys once they wrecked. And it's shown you have to stay out in front to be able to contend for this race. And that's exactly what Mark did.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the key to his being in the position that he is in now. Again, situational awareness of knowing where that wreck was going to go, and for him to avoid it.
Yeah, Rick, you've been in races. I've been in races. Everybody's been in races where you think you make the right move, and somehow the car that's wrecking comes down and collects you, and you thought, I made the right move, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. We've all been there before, been there, done that, the saying. So that number 2 machine definitely made the right move, and sometimes you end up on the good side of the days of Thunder move. Some days you end up on the bad side of the days of Thunder move.
Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Exactly. So
hey, all that, there was a pass we missed. Kenneth Bradstock has moved up to 4th, taking that position away from Justin Dills. We can jump back.
Yes, he has.
Let's
see what happened here. Justin got really high going into turn 1 and turn 2, just didn't have the speed, and nice move out of the 74 machine. I love the patriotic side there on the car, followed by the number 22 machine in his patriotic car. Love to see these patriotic schemes out as well. And looking back, Rick, I think we have a couple more battles going on the track between Elliott Swope and Alan Crowell. Those are 2 very close battles that they're now going, hitting 5 to go between those 2 machines. And there you go. Whoa! Slid up a little bit. Yep, 21 of Elliott there. Definitely slid up quite a bit into the 9 machine. But what a run by Elliott. He was a couple laps down, got his way back up, and he's contending possibly, if he can get to the back of the 19 machine, he can get a top 5 out of this.
He's right there with 4 laps to go.
Well, he's loose. Number 9's loose. Everybody's loose. It's what you're going to see at this track, at this stage of the race. Everybody's just fighting for position and fighting just to keep their car underneath them at this point as we have 4 to go.
Well, Mark Sarkozy has continued to keep that lead. Bill Hull has not been able to really chip much away from it, and
But
here we are.
he's cutting it down, Rick. I don't know. He's got to 1.3, 1.2, 1.1, 1. Rick, I think this 51 machine has a little bit of life to it. I don't know, but he made very quick speed out of, I don't know if it was a mistake by the 2 car or something, but that 51 machine, I know it's only 2 to go, but gosh, that lead dwindled down quick.
It's down to 1 second between first and second with 2 laps to go.
One mistake out of that number 2 machine, and it could cost him the race, as we are now getting the white flag, as the lead is now just under a second here at Rockingham. Mark Sikosi out to a somewhat comfortable lead now. He probably can't wait to come back around coming off of turn 4. Wow, that lead is dwindling down there, Rick.
I think
but I think it's going to be a little too late.
Yeah, I think Mark's just making it safe. It's in his sights. It's close, but he's got it. Mark Sikosi wins here at Rockingham in the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series.
It takes home the win here at the Thunder Alley 200. What a run by him. What a run by Bill Hull. Ryan Chapman all the way back up to the podium finish there in number 3 spot. Brad Stock in 4th. Stilts in 5th. Elliott Swope in 6th. Alan Crowell rounding out the top 7. Avon Amick in 8th. And then what a comeback from Milliken. I mean, I hate saying comeback when he literally led over half the race, but he was able to finish in the top 10. Every spot matters there as he finishes up there in 9th. Bostic in 10th. Withers in 11th. Thomas Thompson, the Rockingham native, there in 12th. Bullard still in pits, finishing in the 13th position. Aaron in the 14th position. Robley in 15th. And look at us. We're 16th and 17th, Rick. How about that?
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to hope to get some time with these drivers, and the top 3 will join us hopefully in the broadcast booth. We're watching Mark Sikosi celebrate his well-deserved victory.
Yes, he does. He deserves every single congratulations tonight for being able to take advantage of other people's mishaps and being able to capitalize on that. He takes home the victory here tonight at Rockingham. Yeah, go ahead, celebrate. Go ahead, just burn the car up. I mean, he deserves it. Not going to use this car ever again. Probably has all the nuts and bolts knocked out of it due to so many bumps in this track. But he definitely deserves the win tonight.
There can't be much tread left on those tires.
No, he's going to burn it down too. He's like, forget this car. I'm never coming back to this track, and no, neither is this car. So we're just going to burn this thing down and just go celebrate with some Millers. And there he goes. He's off.
Well, it's unfortunate that we saw, but that's racing. What happened to Mr. Milliken? He led the majority of the laps here at Rockingham, and then it happens. Mistakes are made.
Yep, mistakes are made, and that's just the product of racing. So let's see if we can get some of these guys in here, Rick. Maybe starting with that number 3rd place finisher, Ryan Chapman. See if you can drag them in here and get some interviews going.
All right, so we can bring Ryan Chapman up. Let me add him to our broadcast booth. Ryan, welcome to the broadcast booth.
How you doing, guys? How you doing, Rick?
We're doing well.
So Ryan, we saw a very the treacherous race out there tonight with how bumpy the track was and how much tires played a factor in the fall off. Give us a rundown of your race and tell us what happened there between you and the 10 car.
Yeah, well, me and Kyle were racing. The whole team was just super, super strong tonight. I mean, Kyle and Dills put together a great setup. But yeah, we were going into 1. Looked like he got loose coming off 4, so I dove down low to try to get a run. And I was like, I'm not going to run him into 1 because it's bumpy and going to 1, so I let off and I slid up the track and we ended up in the wall. I hate it for Kyle because he should have won this race. He had a phenomenal car. he was just dominant the whole time. It's just I'm hungry for that win, and thought we could get it tonight, but didn't happen. But happy with third place.
Well, we were watching you bide your time for a while there when we thought even you may have had a run earlier prior to that incident, but you were kind of biding your time before you found that that opportunity, and things happen. So.
Yeah, exactly. And like we were talking about in the chat, like we'll go on to Atlanta. It's a learning lesson, and we'll put it on in Atlanta, and we'll hopefully put on a dominant show.
Well, we hope
Absolutely.
so too. You congratulations on your podium finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, John. Thank you for doing this, guys. Thank you for Affordable SEO and Speed Demon for putting this on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was your third place finisher there, Ryan Chapman, taking home the podium finish. And let's go up to Bill Hall here, who has brought home the number 2 position for 3 Wide Esports. Rick, let's get Mr. Bill in here. What a run by him, Rick. Wow.
Absolutely. You know, I don't see Bill in the in Discord, and I'm not sure we'll be able to pull him into the broadcast booth. I do have our winner, Mark Sarkozy, waiting to jump in. So let's grab Mark and move on to Mark. And if Bill joins, we'll pull him in as well. So.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Mark, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
So you capitalized on some unfortunate circumstances there between the 7 and the 10. I want to know what was going through your mind when you saw that 7 car slide up, get into the 10 and the 17 slide up there. What was going through your mind at that point?
It's a little bit of shock. Did not expect that. Those guys are teammates. From what I heard, I guess he was maybe carrying a little too much speed through there, hit a bump, and got into him. But yeah, it was unfortunate. But yeah, we capitalized on it. We were getting it better and better every run, making good adjustments. I don't know if we would have had anything for him or not. I mean, I think towards the end of that second stage, we were hanging right there with Milliken. I don't know if he was saving anything, but yeah, I mean, car was pretty good. It was decent.
Well, you certainly held your own in that final stage of let's do the final 30, 40 laps. Bill Hull was trying to make a run on you, and you held him off successfully. We did.
Yeah, I was just trying to manage the gap there. I seen he was coming, but I had a little bit left in reserve. The last few laps there, I was catching lap cars at the wrong time, and I had somebody, not sure what, maybe Thompson behind me there. Wasn't sure if he was going to make the move. I was leaving it open for him, and I lost maybe a second there to Bill, but held on to it.
You sure did. We were speculating at that time. Just we saw you basically just driving a bit in the rearview mirror, knowing what was happening behind you, and definitely congratulations to you and your team for your victory tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I got to thank Justin Diltz and Kyle Milliken, because they've been putting together setups for our team in the Xfinity Series. So shout out to them guys.
They did a great job. You guys ran a great race.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
All right, that was your winner, Mark Sarkozy, here in his victory in the Speed Demon NSRL Grand National Series here at Rockingham, and we congratulate him and hope to see you next week in Atlanta. All right, John, that's pretty much wraps it up here at the
Rock.
At the Rock, yeah.
It's very. I did not expect to not see that number 10 machine up there in the lead, Rick. I'm kind of shocked myself, and he took the words out of my mouth. If I was in his position, I would have been shocked too. I think anybody would have. But good run by Mark capitalizing on this. Good run by a lot of these drivers out tonight as they conquered this mile beast rather of what Rockingham has to offer. So tune in next Tuesday night, same time, same channel, as the Grand National Series takes on Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Rick, give us a rundown. Is this the new Atlanta or is this the old Atlanta?
It will be the old Atlanta. I don't believe that iRacing has released the revised Atlanta yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So tune in next week, same time, same guy, same broadcast network. This is John DeRudris, Rick Souza of the IWM Broadcast Network signing off.
Good night.